So here we go. We're going to tie the goblin. So we're going to make this the copper goblin. We're going to start with some copper flash. Tie this into the back and wrap it forward. Got to get this to cooperate. Just wrap this forward. And then kind of get that down. So we've got our body. Now we've got to do the little hot spot that also acts as a shoulder. And we'll tie this in and then roll it basically on itself. I'm using pink right now. I'd probably use maybe something a little different, but that's what I've got. I'm going to wrap this at least 3 times on itself to get a decent ball. And it kind of acts like a shoulder. Plus, if they're to see this, it's probably enough right there. So cinch that down. Cut that off. And so I'm going to go ahead and go with the crystal flash on the top right now and see how it ends up, because I've seen it done a couple different ways online, and I'm going to see how this goes. Kind of spread it out just a little bit. And that gets kind of cut back kind of towards the end of the shank. Or the end of the, at the hook. Then we're going to go ahead and do the flash on the bottom, which there's quite a bit in a lot of these I've seen. So we'll just see how this ends up looking. But tie it off on the front a little, and then come back over the eyes and really cinch it in where I want it. And this should go to the end of the hook, so you can kind of taper that. That looks alright. So we'll go back to the top. Now this is where our crystal flash will be going. I'm going to go ahead and trim this some more. Right there. Okay. So now I'm going to do my craft fur on the top. And you want this to go longer than the shank and the hook. Get some water. This stuff gets pretty staticky. You want to keep this out of the way. Spin this a little bit. Wait, kind of. And then we can pull it. One more turn, we'll pull it. Oh, son. Don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and get one turn on the face of that, 2 turns, and then cut this off. Normally you can do the where you just cut, but basically our rabbit fur is going to cover all this up. So we've got this in. You know, it goes back beyond the hook, and so next we're going to basically make a dubbing loop, and we'll put some rabbit fur in there and palmer that forward. OPST dubbing spinner. I'm going to spread this out because I don't know how many turns I'll get out of this, but obviously the thinner around these eyes, this is some 150 thread, so it's not going to give you too many turns. So we may have to just make this shorter. Get this up in there. Pinch and spin. Rabbit fur you don't really need to pick out too much, and you brush it out. And then we'll get this ready to rock. I'll get a little wet to keep this flash out of my way. And just go ahead and start moving this forward. I'm going to make at least one wrap behind the eyes. Kind of cover up that. And I'm going to go over the eyes. I'm going to figure 8 the side of the eye. Okay. Keep everything pulled back, coming back down. Whoop. Coming over, back down, over the front right of the eye, back up around the eye, and over the front to finish. Try and keep this stuff out of the way so you're not. We can cut that off, bring it back here, kind of finish on it, and cut that out of there. So now we're gonna just kind of bring all this back, kind of get a small head. Again, this is 150 thread, so you don't have much room here to mess around. So I'm gonna bring this back, get a couple of good turns close to the eyes, and now I'm ready to finish. Do 2 to start, and 3 or 4, and that's it. Put some head cement on this. Let's see how it looks. I use this Fly Finish UV Clear. I mean, you can use any one of these products. They're all good, but this one kind of flows in there pretty good. Give that a hit. Some on the bottom. And one more on the top. Really give it a nice clear bead up there. And there it is. That's the Goblin. They're hard to kind of find out here. Somewhat of an easy fly. I mean, it's kind of hard to see that in. Trailing hook. But that should swing real easy. There it is. Thanks for watching.